Why is there an air condition and I'm still sweating? Is it not working? Guys, welcome back to the off-grid garage here in super sunny and super hot and super sweaty and super... Look at this. Brightest Australian summer sun. And the air conditioner is still not working. We are getting closer, at least. Yeah, welcome back to another video here from the off-grid garage. We've got 26 amps outside. I have throttled the battery charging to 50 amps only, including the load. So it trickle charges the batteries only. We are already almost full because the battery temperature is fairly high, over 35 degrees now. And we're at 92% anyway, so we don't need to charge any further actually. Because this air conditioner is still not working. It's sitting here on the Seplos battery tower and is waiting to go on the wall. We need to do a little bit of an upgrade on this system here before we can get it installed. Yeah, and obviously this is the Daikin inverter, the FTX V25W. Oh, you can read it yourself. This is the inside head unit, and the outside unit has the number, this one here, whatever that means. It is a 2.5 kilowatt system. That means 2.5 kilowatt of cooling power, nominal cooling power. So why I have decided to go with this aircon, let me show you. So this is the Daikin Cora series. And well, it's a split air condition, outside, inside, reverse cycles. You can heat and cool with it. We've got actually 3 of these units here inside the house already for 1.5 to 2 years. Unfortunately, they are not running from the battery here, otherwise I would run them all day long. But we will have them connected soon to the off-grid system. But at the moment they are running from the grid-connected system and taking away power there directly. Yeah, obviously this is the normal remote control the air condition comes with, as usually. It is somewhere in the bag in there. But I have also ordered the mobile controller optional, where you have a Daikin app on your phone and can control the air condition from your phone wherever you are. So it's cloud connected. And you've got control over about, I would say, 80% of the functionality of the aircon. Of course, you can do more with this air conditioning, like setting timers and stuff like this, which you cannot do with the mobile connector. Where is it? Ah, here's the table. Yeah, exactly. So we've got the second one. This is the 2.5 kilowatt. This is the same unit as we have in the master bedroom in the house. And we've got also 2 of these smaller ones, the 2 kilowatt units. One is in my office where I edit my videos, and the other one is in my wife's studio. So 2 kilowatt cooling, 2.7 heating, and the larger unit here is 2.5 cooling and 3.2 heating. Jeez. But this one here can actually cool up to 3.7 kilowatt peak power here. It throttles down, it has a frequency controlled compressor, and it can throttle down from 0.9 kilowatt all the way up to 3.7 kilowatt depending on the cooling demand. Heating is not interesting because we never will heat inside here. And where was it? Ah, here it is. Yeah, that's the EER. It's the efficiency, what is it called? Energy efficiency ratio, I think. This is for cooling basically. And this unit has an EER of 5.1. So if the aircon throttles down to 1 kilowatt, say, you would use only 200 watts electrically to produce this 1 kilowatt of cooling power. And this is basically what all these heat pumps do. And then you've got the COP as well. This is for heating, and there it is, exactly 5. The indoor units are a tiny bit less efficient for whatever reason, and the larger units are less efficient again. So the 2.5 is actually the most efficient unit you can buy from Daikin in this series. And that's why we have chosen these 2 units, the 2 kilowatt and the 2.5 kilowatt for our house, and also here for the battery and system room. And the higher this number is, the more efficient your air conditioner is, obviously. And these ones here had both for heating and cooling over 5. So I bought these ones actually. They were fairly cheap, come with 5 years warranty, and had a better efficiency than the Mitsubishi air condition and some other brands we looked at as well. And yes, I know about these hybrid air conditions you can buy as well. And I was actually in contact with one of the companies here in Australia who are selling these hybrid air condition. Hybrid air condition means these air condition units running directly from solar. They've got a built-in MPPT solar charge controller. And most of the time, the compressor motor is a DC motor as well and runs directly from the DC from the solar panels. And I was in contact with a company here in Australia and they offered me one for the garage here, but I wasn't ready with a battery room at this stage. This was like 2 years ago or something. So when I started the battery room, actually, I contacted them again and said, hey, is your offer still valid? Do you still want to sponsor an air condition for the off-grid garage, which I can show you on the channel? We can have a look at the installation then with the solar panels and how this all works and what happens if the solar is not sufficient, how it supplements the power then from the grid, basically. And unfortunately, this company does not exist anymore. So I was actually lucky that I didn't make the deal with them because there would be no support anymore for spare parts or any maintenance or whatever. This company just doesn't exist anymore. So I talked to my Sparky and he had a look around and said, well, we can use the Daikin here or the Mitsubishi air conditioning. And after looking at the specifications, the Daikin was actually a bit more efficient and even cheaper than the Mitsubishi air condition. So when I talked to my Sparky, I told him I want the most efficient air condition on the market, you know, even if it is a bit more pricier, but the efficiency was key for me because once we go off-grid, we have only a limited amount of energy, of course. And basically there were two models on the market here. It's a multi-head unit where you have only one outside unit, but multiple inside units. Or the traditional air conditioning system where every indoor unit has one separate outdoor unit. And when I looked at the specifications for multi-head and split aircon, the split aircon was actually far more efficient than this multi-head because the multi-head is obviously designed to run multiple indoor units at the same time. But if you run only one or two units, it is actually far less efficient than the normal split system. And we also didn't want the outdoor unit sitting on our terrace. So we actually opted in to get them mounted on the back side of the house. This is south facing. And here they're also sitting under a roof. So they are actually protected from the elements, sun and rain. Yeah, and of course I followed the team from PowerMate Electrics when they installed these 3 separate split air condition systems. They drilled all the holes on the outside, made some even bigger holes on the inside, and we also had to take off some roof panels to get access to the wall, so that they could actually connect the pipework, the cables, and run them through the roof space back to the outdoor units on the back of the house. And then it was time to do a pressure test, suck out all the air and fill the system with gas and do an initial first test. Very impressive. First test. It is cold. It works. So hence we went with the Daikin, and thank God we did, because these air conditions are also integrating in Home Assistant seamlessly, automatically, plug and play. You can fully control, fully manage, fully automate your air condition inside your house, and here in the battery room, of course, with Home Assistant then later on. But before we can do this, we need to upgrade this air condition unit actually with the remote controller. And I've already got these ones here. There are 2 parts for that. One is the BRP, is this part here. This is the interface adapter. And this one is the interface adapter. Oh, it's actually the same. It's a different number, see? You need both of these. So this one here is the actual Wi-Fi module. And it looks like this. I mean, like, don't be ridiculous here, back. So this is just a little module which connects to your Wi-Fi basically, and then the whole unit connects to your account online, and you can control all air conditioning connected to your account with the mobile app. And then you need also this little beast here, which is just a controller. Yeah, it's just a PCB which comes with this socket here with this plug. And this plugs into the head unit, and then the actual Wi-Fi module connects to this one here. And I've actually installed this on all 3 air conditions inside the house, and it's actually fairly easy to install. The good thing is there are no... actually you need a screwdriver. You need to remove 2 screws to take off the cover of the head unit. But apart from that, there are no further tools needed to install these 2 parts. And while I get my camera prepared here for the tripod, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who is donating to the channel here, buying me a beer, even it's alcohol free, so I can survive in these hot conditions here inside the garage. So thank you very, very much for all your contributions, and your SPAT donations are much appreciated. Thank you very much. So in preparation of installing this Wi-Fi adapter, you need to remove these 2 screws under the lid here, and then here at the back we've got 3 points where the actual enclosure is hooked into the air conditioning unit, and you just click on them to unclick them, and you can take off the whole cover of the air conditioner. So, and then we can see here the actual air conditioning unit, of course, and here on the right hand side is the electrical junction box where the electrician, but we need to get access to this part here. This is the actual controller already in the head unit. You only need to pop these 2 latches here at the top, and then the whole metal lid comes off. So, and here inside you can already see the controller for the head unit, which connects then to your remote control and does all the stuff you set and everything you tell the air conditioner to do. So let's start with this little PCB here first. So the installation is super simple. There's a manual as well in the box. Yeah, it tells you exactly how to install this PCB here as well, and how to take the air conditioner apart to install this. See these 3 plastic standoffs here on the PCB? They are actually going into these 3 holes here of the main controller. So you line this up like this, and you push them in until they click. See, that's it. That's the whole installation you need to do. And then this part obviously goes into here. Push the cables to the side. Done. And the actual Wi-Fi module comes with a manual as well. This is like a little handbook in several languages, and it tells you as well exactly how to install it. Comes with 2 cable lengths. One is shorter, one is longer, and also a wall mount. Yeah, if you need to install this one outside of the unit, you basically use the longer cable and place it somewhere where you have got Wi-Fi reception, and then have the cable running back to the head unit connecting to this PCB what we just installed. But because we want to install this one here inside the head unit, we can use the smaller cable, the shorter cable, take the Wi-Fi module apart. Interesting, it's not an ESP32 actually in here. Something different. So this cable end with the rubber grommet goes into the Wi-Fi module. The plug fits only one way. And then you arrange the cables to come out down here. Put the lid back on. Done. So the other side of the Wi-Fi module clicks onto the PCB we have just installed onto the controller. Goes in one way as well only, like this. And then you have to route this cable all the way to the outside world. There are some pre-configured holes actually where the cable can go through, like here for example. Yeah, so like this. Leave this Wi-Fi module sitting over there for the moment. We can pop this metal lid back on. Till it clicks in, and then we can basically install the cover for the air conditioning back on. So in here, easiest way is if you temporarily place the Wi-Fi module on top of the connection junction box. Yeah, just leave it over here for a moment, and then put the lid back on, the actual enclosure. Back and forward until everything fits together again. Make sure it latches in on the back here of the unit. All 3 hooks are latched in. And then you basically route the cable again through this gap, so the unit can actually sit over here in this little compartment right at the front. So I push this cable back in here, no big deal. The electrician has to take it out anyway again. If he removes this one to connect the aircon to the 240 volt system, the whole Wi-Fi module just pops out and basically hangs on the cable here just fine. And then we've got full access to the junction box. So it connects to these two little plastic hooks here. They go into these holes here, top and bottom. And the whole unit just sits in there like this. Yeah. And you've got these two LEDs here for run and access point. And when you close the lid, you can actually see them shining through the plastic here of the whole cover. Yeah, that's pretty much how it looks like at night. Not too bright, but still noticeable. Yeah, and this concludes the whole installation of the Wi-Fi module in the Daikin air condition. So it's very simple, you can do it yourself, very straightforward. Manuals are provided, all the cables, everything you need. And then once connected to power, this air conditioning unit creates its own hotspot. You connect to it with the Daikin app installed on your phone, and then you can connect it to your regular Wi-Fi. And once you do that, Home Assistant is actually picking this one up automatically, installs the Daikin integration and integrates all your air conditioning units into Home Assistant with a lot of features, a lot of functions and a lot of data. Let me show you. So you can see the Daikin AC integration here in Home Assistant, 3 devices. These are the 3 units inside the house. We've got bedroom, office and studio. If you go in any of them, gives you a status. So this one sits on cooling at the moment on 26 degrees. The power is turned on. Streamer we don't have. Then it tells you how much energy you have used with this aircon since midnight, so today basically. How much power the compressor uses at the moment. So you're running this aircon unit. It's a 2.5 kilowatt as well, as I said, with 110 watts at the moment. Yeah, 110 watts. The compressor frequency shows 16 hertz. This goes up and down and basically controls the cooling output or heating output of your compressor, of the whole aircon unit. And it can go down to 12 hertz. This is, I think, the minimum before it turns off, and all the way up to 72 hertz. So if we click on this one, we can see here, this was basically during the night. Air condition turns on and off. And then we turned it back on here just before lunch. And the compressor actually sped up to 42 hertz. And now the temperature has been reached. And it goes down to 16 hertz only with 110 watts of power used. That's incredible. Some of the features are not working, so I cannot actually see how much cooling and heating power we have used. Yeah, and then of course we've got the inside temperature and also the outside temperature. And then you can make your own dashboard, which probably looks like this here. We've got the office, the studio and the bedroom AC. It is set on 26 and the inside temperature is 28. 28 sounds warm, but if you go inside, it's actually pretty cool because, as you know, the air condition gets all the moisture out of the air, makes it drier, and this is far more comfortable. You can see we've got only 52% humidity inside the house now, yeah? And you can change the mode here from fan only over dry to cool to heat to auto or off. Yeah, you can set the fan speed. And here with these 3 buttons you can actually have more functionality. So you can change the cool mode again, and also the swing mode where it points the airflow to vertical and horizontally. There's also a 3D option, so it does it randomly in all directions basically. And I've set up a little routine in Home Assistant now. If the inside room temperature gets over 27 degrees, it automatically turns on the air condition and sets it to 26 cooling. So these are the smaller 2 kilowatt units, and this is the same 2.5 as we have just here upgraded. And this one uses actually the least energy, 110 watts, yeah? Well, the one in the studio, 320 watts, and this one here in my office, 320 watts as well. They're running on 32 and 24 hertz here, so a bit elevated than this unit here. So why is that? Because we are actually cooling down the whole house with these 3 units. We just leave the door open to this room and the cold air goes basically anywhere inside the house. 320, 320 and 110 makes 600, 700, 750, exactly 750 watts electrical power, cools down the whole entire house with 200 square meters of living space. And these are in temperatures of 34 degrees outside. Yeah, you can see it here. So these units are super efficient, and I always wanted one here in the garage as well. And now we've got the 2.5 kilowatt unit in the battery room here as well. And I cannot wait to turn it on actually. But if you would actually shut down the door of this room, the air condition cools down this room very quickly, throttles down and eventually shuts even off when the room temperature is reached. Yeah, but now we are cooling down the whole house with it, and it works amazingly well. I think they are pretty good and efficient units for this price here. The Wi-Fi adapter actually costs around $150, $180, I think, or was it even $250? I can't remember. I put it here on the screen. So they are actually a bit pricey for what you get, but this is actually the only option you have if you want to connect these units here to Wi-Fi and eventually to Home Assistant then to control them over from there. So, and I've mentioned this before, once we have installed the indoor unit here, we have to have a duct going this way into the corner with a bit of fall, so the actual condensation water can run off freely. Then we go through the wall, we come out somewhere over there, I would say. Then we run fairly straight above the door frame, and then after the door frame we actually go in the same angle as the roof is tilted, this way all the way down, and then we hit the outside wall somewhere over there in this corner, somewhere over there. We will punch a hole in the metal, go outside. Yeah, and then my original plan was actually to hang these units, as we have done it at the house, on these L-shaped consoles, yeah. And I still have these two galvanized steel posts, which I wanted to put between the roof rail and the rail behind the shelf here. Angle brackets, screws, and this gives us a really strong and sturdy support for the air conditioning unit hanging outside on the wall. But then one or two people have left comments and said, Andy, be careful, because this is all a metal wall here. You may end up having vibrations, noise and all this kind of stuff inside the garage here. When you make videos and have this constant vibrating of the wall, then it's not great. And they recommended actually to put this outside unit on a slab of concrete and then connect it there. Yeah, and this is exactly what I'm considering right now. So we should actually come out somewhere over here or so with these pipes, and then we would have enough space here for the outside unit to hang up here. And the height was actually enough to just walk underneath or to just bang your head, depending on how high you are. And then I would have put a little bit of roof on top of it so it doesn't get direct sunshine. Yeah, so this was the original plan, but yeah, probably these people are right. Yeah, even having these galvanized steel supports in the inside here where we screw in this console and where the unit sits on, it may be still too much, and this shit starts vibrating when the air conditioning compressor throttles down and up. Yeah, then alternatively we put a concrete slab in this position here and have the unit just sitting there. But here's also a French drain underneath, which gets rid of all the water which is collecting between this garage here. And it goes all the way to there and then all the way down to the dam. So I have to remove this gravel here a little bit, rake it off and see what the ground conditions are. I've put this drain in here like, I don't know, almost 15 years ago or so. That was pretty much right after when we moved in, and I cannot remember anymore if there's actually topsoil on top of it and then this gravel here, or if there's only gravel on top of it. So I have to start digging here a little bit and see what's going on. Yeah, and then here on the ground it would be pretty much like this. So we would have a concrete slab around 500 millimeters from the wall up to there. Yeah, and this is still the walkway through it. It is a bit of a, you can see how high it actually is. So it is very easy visible when you walk along this way here, so you don't actually bump into it. We probably can install a bit of a solar light or something here, so there's a bit of a lighting situation when it's dark. No, I'm just kidding. We don't need a light here. And then we've got the unit sitting here on a concrete slab. Can screw it down to secure it and have basically the cables and the pipe all coming down, and the water from the drain can go into the gravel anyway. It goes into the French drain pipe underneath. It is not that much anyway. Actually it is. We've got a bucket under 2 of the units in the office and studio. It's a 20-liter bucket, and at some days we actually fill this up within 1 day. So it is amazing how much water these units actually collect from the air. But yeah, even 20 liters over a day wouldn't be much for this drain underneath here. Yeah, so these are the 2 options. Let me know what you think. Concrete slab or wall console and hang it over here. I think this is actually a better solution from a pure optical perspective, but I fully get it. Yeah, you can hear the rattling already. So I'm not sure. I have checked the other units at the back of the house as well, but they are sitting in a brick wall and there's no vibration, there's no movement. You cannot feel that they are humming or anything. You can't even hear them inside the house. And from the outside, there's only the fan basically there. They're all 3 running full blast. This is all the noise you get. But yeah, there is positive concern hanging this unit here actually on this metal wall. Even we have this galvanized steel on the inside then. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm tending to the concrete slab actually, even I like this idea better. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below, what would you do? Alright my friends, so far this video from today, upgrading this air conditioning head unit here with a Wi-Fi module, and talk a bit about the efficiency of these air conditioning units, which is pretty amazing I think. And we are running the whole house with 700 watts of electricity, and I cannot wait to connect these air conditioning units to the off-grid system here as well. So all this surplus power coming from the solar, and 700 watt is nothing basically, can go into these units then, and then I can run 24/7 basically, keeping the house conditioned, get the moisture out of the air and everything. And yeah, I tell you what, temperature and moisture is very nice inside, in rare contrast to the battery room at this point of time. Alright my friends, as always, thank you for watching. Thanks for all your amazing support. As I said, special thanks goes always to the donors who are buying me a SPED so I can calibrate it at night, which I will do probably a little bit earlier today, because it is like 35 degrees. Guys, until the next video when we do something completely different to this one, 100%. Until then, you stay charged, stay safe, and thanks again for watching. See you then. Bye bye. Yeah. And also thank you for over 104,527. Must be a few more now. I don't know. Thank you very much, and welcome to the channel.